The shouting started fast, and then the whole dorm went still. A metal tray clattered to the floor. 2 men squared off near the phones. Officers in gray uniforms ran in with shields up. The loudspeaker barked, "Down! Face the floor!" For a breath, it looked like a riot, exactly what people think happens at Rikers Island every hour. Beds shook. Someone prayed under his breath. A plane roared low overhead, its sound washing through the windows like thunder, and then, nothing exploded. One officer spoke calm and slow. The 2 men backed away. Cuffs clicked. The dorm's noise dropped to a whisper. No swarm of fighting. No broken glass. The fear in the room stayed, but the danger passed. A rumor started anyway, big riot on the block. Phones carried it across the island in minutes. By the time lights dimmed, some folks outside would believe the whole jail had been on fire. This is the gap between myth and reality, what people think happens at Rikers and what really happens most days. Let's rewind to the morning. Rikers Island is big, about 400 acres, a patchwork of buildings, fences, and yards between Queens and the Bronx. Most people here are waiting for court, not serving long sentences. Days are made of schedules, count times, meal times, med lines, movement lines. When the bridge is backed up or court is delayed, the day stretches and feels heavy. That slow wait is the real sound of Rikers, not constant riots. Before sunrise, lights snap on in the dorm. The room is long, with rows of metal bunks. A correction officer walks the aisle, calling, "Count." Everyone stands so numbers can match the log. This is not drama. It is routine. After count comes breakfast, eggs sometimes, oatmeal often, always fast. Trays slide, spoons scrape. People trade fruit for milk, bread for jelly, tiny deals to make a small morning feel better. Programs do exist, even if the myth says off. Otherwise. Some folks leave the dorm for classes that teach reading, GED prep, or re-entry skills. Others go to chapel or meet with counselors. Are there enough programs for everyone? No. Does every person get a class every day? No. But people do try to fill time in good ways: books, letters, push-ups, drawing, making careful plans for the next court date. Phones line a wall. They are busy from morning to night. Calls are short, and the line moves slow. But those calls keep hope alive. A mom reminding a son to stay focused, a sister sharing a lawyer's update, a friend promising to bring money for commissary. Hope is quiet. It doesn't make headlines. It keeps going anyway. The myth says people at Rikers live with luxury perks, flat-screen TVs, special meals, anything they want. The reality is far from that. The dorm has one TV behind a plastic shield, locked to channels staff approve. The sound is low. Most meals are simple and repeat often. Commissary helps, but only if someone puts money on your account. Many people stretch a small amount across weeks: soup packets, ramen, a candy bar saved for a hard night. Another myth says violence happens every hour. The truth is more complicated. Yes, fights do happen. Yes, some days feel hot and tense. But most hours look like this: people napping, people reading, people waiting on movement, officers walking the tier, a sudden laugh at a joke, a hush after a phone call brings bad news. The danger at Rikers is real, but so is the long, slow waiting that fills the spaces between. Late morning, the dorm readies for movement. Some leave for clinic, some head to court. Moving even a few people takes planning. Doors buzz. Gates open and close in a set order. An officer calls names. Everyone in the line wears patience like a coat that doesn't fit. Court is the biggest thing in many people's minds: a chance to meet a lawyer, see a judge, hear the next date, maybe get released. This is where another myth breaks: people don't delay court on purpose to chill. Most want faster dates. But the system is busy, and schedules slip. A delay can mean another week or two on the island. That wait is the hardest fight for many. Back in the dorm, a counselor comes by with a small stack of forms, program lists, mental health sheets, grievance slips. Some men wave her off. Some men ask for help. Some just want a pen. The myth says no one cares. The reality is different. Some staff try very hard, and some days they get through to someone who was sure no one saw him at all. Lunch comes. The room buzzes, then quiets. After trays go back, two men argue near the phones. The quarrel starts small, then gets sharp. Angry words heat the air. This is the moment when myth and reality collide. People imagine the whole room joining in, chairs flying, a full riot. But most men step back. They've seen how fast a bad minute can become a bad week. An officer steps to the door. Two more arrive. The men are separated. The dorm feels stretched thin, like plastic pulled tight. But it holds. Afternoon brings another count, then showers, then more phones. A nurse rolls a med cart past the door. Names are called. People sign. One man shakes his head and refuses, another nods and takes his pills. Choices are small here, but they matter. The myth says all days blur the same. The truth is each person builds little anchors. Call at noon, shower at 3, write letters after dinner, pray BEF. Or lights out. Tiny islands in a long ocean. As evening drops, the city outside glows. From some windows you can see planes rising from LaGuardia, their lights like moving stars. Inside, the dorm TV hums low. A news update mentions Rikers, another report on crowding, delays, safety concerns, and a plan for change that seems always to be coming and never to arrive. In the dorm, a few men watch for a minute, then look away. The island is made of real people with real days, but outside it can look like a headline more than a place. Then the speaker crackles. A short, tight voice, stand by for emergency movement. Officers gather at the door. Radios hiss. The counselor who was smiling this morning looks worried now. Someone from another unit is coming through under escort, and the route must be clear. The dorm shifts from quiet to alert in a heartbeat. When the island moves, everything else pauses. Two officers step in first, shields angled. A third follows with a clipboard. Behind them, a fourth escorts a man in cuffs, head down, face blank. The path has to stay open from door to door. If someone steps into it, even by accident, the whole corridor locks and the unit freezes. The myth says these escorts are pure drama. The reality is their careful choreography. One wrong step and the day falls apart. The escorted man passes. The officers clear the far door. The dorm exhales. People return to chessboards, to letters, to the TV, to a nap. But the calm doesn't last. A radio clicks again, sharper this time. Hold movement. Repeat, hold movement. Another voice cuts across. Count error in intake. Count error. Two small words that can turn the island inside out. If the numbers don't match, the bridge slows, court stops, meals hold, phones cut, and every unit waits for a new total. The lights feel brighter. The air feels thinner. One officer takes a slow breath and RTS counting bunks with his finger, one by one, mouth moving with the numbers. The loudspeaker says 3 words no one wants to hear at the end of a long day: emergency count now. In the hall, keys jangle. In the dorm, feet shuffle to attention. This is where myth and reality meet again. No fire, no riot, just a cold wave of not knowing. Did someone get missed in intake? Did a name get logged wrong? Or is someone, somewhere between buildings, not where they're supposed to be? The officer raises his eyes from the clipboard, face pale in the fluorescent light. His partner whispers, "What's the number?" He doesn't answer yet. He counts again. Outside, a plane climbs into the dark. Inside, the dorm goes so quiet you can hear the clock tick. The officer looks up, and everyone waits to hear if the island will sleep tonight, or if the island is about to wake the whole city. Night at Rikers brings a different kind of tension. When the sun drops, myths say chaos takes over, that every dorm turns into a war zone, that officers lock themselves in towers while inmates run wild. The reality, though, is stranger. Silence so heavy it feels like it presses on your chest. broken by sudden bursts of shouting or metal clanging that it starts after dinner. The trays are cleared, and most men return to bunks or line up for the phones one last time. The TVs play until lights dim. Some write letters in the half-light, heads bent over tiny tables. Others lie awake, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep that never comes. Outside the barred windows, the lights of LaGuardia Airport blink as planes rise into the night sky. For a moment, it almost looks like freedom is just across the water, but the stillness doesn't last. A fight breaks out near the showers, two men arguing over stolen commissary. A bottle of soap, a packet of noodles, something small that turns sharp in the wrong hands. A whistle blows, boots thunder down the hall, and the dorm flinches as officers rush in with shields. Some inmates freeze, others shout, but most sink low in their bunks, trying not to be noticed, and just as quickly, it's over. The two men are cuffed and pulled away. Silence falls again, heavier now. The dorm smells of sweat, disinfectant, and fear. The officers' radios crackle, their static voices carrying words no one can hear clearly. Rumors begin to twist through the dorm: someone's in medical, they're locking down the block, court delays again tomorrow. The myth is that nights at Rikers are all-out brawls. The truth is, they're long stretches of waiting, pierced by moments of sudden violence, moments that remind everyone how close danger always is. One man, lying on his bunk, whispers that his case might be dismissed tomorrow. Another groans, saying he's been waiting 3 months just to see a judge. The frustration is quiet, but it burns hotter than any fight. Waiting is its own punishment here. The clock ticks past midnight. The loudspeaker breaks the quiet: count time. Officers walk through, shining flashlights over faces, marking numbers on clipboards. Every person must be accounted for, every bed must match the log. Some roll over without a word. Others mutter curses under their breath. The officers keep their eyes forward, counting, counting, counting. The myths don't talk about this: the endless counts, the endless waiting. They don't talk about the cold food, the broken air conditioning, the peeling paint. They don't talk about how men learn to fold their feelings away, to keep them hidden where no one can use them. Hours later, just as the dorm begins to settle into uneasy rest, a sudden alarm blares. Red lights flash against the walls. Officers run again. No one knows if it's a fight, a fire, or just a door alarm tripped by mistake. The dorm holds its breath, the alarm cuts off. Silence drops again like a stone into deep water. The men look at each other in the half-dark, some shaking their heads, some smiling bit. Early. Another night at Rikers, someone mutters. But the truth lingers heavier than the myth: it's not the constant riots that break people here. It's the constant waiting. The endless nights where freedom feels so close, just across the bridge, yet impossibly far away, and then, before dawn, the dorm is jolted awake by a scream. A sharp, ragged cry from somewhere down the hall. Officers run past, radio sparking. The dorm stiffens. No one knows who it was. No one knows what just happened. The lights flicker on, brighter than morning. The day is starting early, but with a shadow hanging over it. The question in every man's mind is the same: what happened last night, and what's coming next? That's where the myth ends, and the reality begins.